Hi, it's so great to meet you. My name is Matthew Barron, and if you're watching this video, I'm your scholars teacher for either Introduction to Computer Science, Introduction to Engineering Design, or AP Computer Science A this year. It's great to be able to talk a little bit with the parents of the scholars I work with, and I'm very excited to meet all of you in person when the chance arises. A little bit about me. I've been at Heron and Riverside High School for 3 years now. I teach at both campuses. This year I have 4 classes at Heron High School and 2 at Riverside High School. I'm also one of the track and cross country coaches for the Heron High School team. If you need to reach me, feel free to email me at mbarron@heronhighschool.org. I also have office hours on Wednesdays from 8 to 8:40 at Heron and Thursdays at 8 to 8:40 at Riverside. And I'll be resuming afternoon office hours once the cross-country season's over. That said, if you want an update on your scholar's progress or want to get in touch about a particular assignment and update, feel free to check the class Google Classroom stream for my class or for any others that your scholar is taking to keep informed on what we're up to and working on within our class. I've lived in Indiana for 6 years, but I'm originally from the great state of Virginia. I did my undergraduate degree at the University of Virginia. Go Hoos, if you're a big basketball fan. And I studied electrical and computer engineering in college, alongside a minor in integrated systems design, which was an interdisciplinary major that focused on creative engineering problem solving. When I was going through my degree program, I really fell in love with the power of technology and the way that engineers and computer scientists thought to solve really interesting problems. And I was inspired to find ways to share that with others, especially students in the K through 12 system. I wanted to help them see the ways they could be creative, and I wanted to help them solve problems that were really interesting to them that might be able to help other people. So I made the transition to teaching. I did a transition to teaching program through Notre Dame, and my placement for that was at a middle school on the south side of Indianapolis, where I taught general science and engineering courses for about 3 years before making the transition to Heron. Now, your scholar might be in my Introduction to Computer Science class this semester, which is the course I've taught the most during my time at Heron. It's a 1-semester course, and it focuses on topics in app design, and scholars learn to use 3 programming languages that work together to create websites and apps: HTML, CSS, and Java. When I approach the Introduction to Computer Science course, I think the 4 questions I'm having scholars ask is, how do we actually design the best app for a problem? How does user interface or the needs of a client inform the way that we actually create a solution? How do we create elements of design using these programming languages? How do we take a really complicated problem and start to divide up the responsibilities and parts of it, like an engineer or programmer might do? And how do we present our ideas in the most convincing manner? In particular, the last part is important because this course has a partnership with IUPUI that's been going on for the last 3 years, where our students are enrolled in the IUPUI program, which is designed to help students interested in computer science and informatics transition to IUPUI if they want to participate when they go to college. And at the end of this semester, our scholars create apps that solve a problem that's interesting to them and get to show it off to professors and stakeholders at IUPUI. Occasionally, they'll also invite in local programmers to comment on the ideas and apps that have been created. So I really love this course, and I think scholars enjoy it too because it's project-based and they're building a solution to something they think is interesting over the course of time using the programming skills that they've acquired. Last year, when we decided to go virtual, John Hansen and I, who's a teacher at Riverside, decided to start the Introduction to Engineering Design course, which is the hands-on complement to the Introduction to Computer Science course. It's another semester course that asks students to think a little bit about the way that engineers solve problems and learn skills that help them create problems to interesting solutions in the physical world. This course breaks down over 5 topics. We've just finished talking about general design skills and how to evaluate the effectiveness of a solution. Right now, we're working on 2D and 3D drafting and modeling, which can help us prototype solutions to a problem that we're interested in. We're designing a bridge for the city of Indianapolis right now. My favorite unit is the 3rd, where we learn reverse engineering skills by dismantling old electronics, and then that informs the way that we design electromechanical systems using new parts. And at the end of the semester, students are given 3 to 4 weeks to solve a problem of their choosing using a device that combines some mechanical electrical element. And they prototype it, test it, and showcase it at a science fair style function at the end of the semester, where they're pitching their idea. And there is a pretty fun competition for a winner at the end. This course is also the prerequisite for the robotics design and innovation course, which was a previous Heron course before we went virtual, but is coming back in the upcoming spring. The other cool thing is that we're working on a partnership with the 16 Tech Machyne Makerspace for the Introduction to Engineering and Design course. It's pretty unusual for students in high school to have the chance to work in a fully equipped makerspace where they can woodwork, metalwork, use a variety of electronic devices for automation problems. So stay tuned on that, because we should have some updates about how students are going to have access to that over the course of the next couple weeks. If I haven't addressed your Scholars course before, they might be in my AP Computer Science A course, which mimics a 1-semester college level Introduction to Computer Science course in Java. It's typically the most challenging programming course offered at American high schools, and we do take the AP exam at the end of the semester. Students kind of start out by learning this Java programming language, which I like to call the Latin of programming languages. It's been around for about 30 years and is very syntax heavy, but is kind of industry standard and allows you to understand a lot of other programming languages as well. But we also talk about a lot of interesting problems in back-end design as opposed to website design. So students are learning how information is stored and manipulated. They learn how algorithms work that are influencing our lives. They might solve problems like writing the program to create a calculator, creating a password checker, creating an automated program like Cleverbot that responds depending on what information you input, or designing a program like Battleship where certain commands are based on the location that's saved into memory. I'm really passionate about giving students the opportunity to solve problems that are interesting to them. That's really the great privilege of my job. And whatever I can do to help your scholar, be it an assignment in class or something topic that they're interested in outside of class that you might want a little bit of support with, feel free to reach out to me. Feel free to come by my office, to have your scholar come by my office hours, Wednesdays or Thursday mornings. And thank you so much for listening tonight. Again, I'm looking forward to hearing from you and meeting you in person when the opportunity arises. And I hope that for those returning to Heron and Riverside, you've had a positive experience there this year, and a big welcome to everybody whose first year at either school is taking place. Have a great rest of your day.